you're interested in something, you find an excuse, and if you're committed to something, you find a way, right? If you're committed to something, there's no amount of accountability that'll scare you. If accountability scares you, you need to go back to your vision and your why because you're not actually committed to it yet. I can literally pull you and show you every business plan I've ever written. I've kept them all, plan over plan, where I break everything down to conversations, applications, closings. We're going to do business planning today, but business planning is useless because who here, raise your hand, has ever done a business plan and then never looked at it again? Okay, that's all of us, just so you guys know. I can literally pull you and show you every business plan I've ever written. I've kept them all throughout the 90s. You can watch me as a loan officer go from $50,000 a year to $1 million a year, plan over plan, where I break everything down to conversations, applications, closings. I'm super detailed on tracking. You guys are gonna hear me talk about that a little bit more. If you don't track what you're doing, there's no way to know what your performance is going to be. If you don't understand your numbers, there's literally no way for you to know how to get there. Imagine being at sea on a boat on a cloudy day and you don't have a compass. That's what happens if you don't have a plan and you don't track your numbers. You die. And that's what we don't want. So let's get going. We'll start with this. Today, look, it's about strategy. It's about understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Most people are going to tell you, and even Tom's going to do it, and as you do your business plan, it's going to start with what I think we call the Dickens technique when you get into your business plan. The Dickens technique is, who here has seen like A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, or The Ghost of Christmas Past and Christmas Future and whatever. Tony Robbins adapted that many years ago, about 30 years ago, and I was actually in the room the very first time that he presented this, where you close your eyes and you visualize 10 years from now and you've reached every goal that you've ever wanted to reach, physically, financially, spiritually, relationship-wise, and he wants you to like feel that. Think about how that feels and where you ended up. And he takes you through this with your eyes closed with 30,000 people in the room. And Debbie and I just did UPW at the Honda Center in Southern California 3 weeks ago. And people are crying and it's crazy, but then he takes you, okay, where do you have to be in 5 years? Or where do you have to be in 3 years? And then, so where do you have to be at the end of 1 year in order to get there? And the idea is, once again, you have to have a path. But for me, I would tell you guys this. The mistake that Tony makes in my mind and that Tom makes in my mind is that it's not just about your why, it's about feeling where you end up. It's about your vision. So if you can visualize where you want to be, and then we can determine, why do you want to be there? Why do you want to be, what is it? So my wife and I have lived half the time in Park City, Utah, and half the time in Cabo San Lucas. Last year, we sold everything in Cabo, and this year, the goal is to buy something in Tuscany, Italy, and spend half my time in Italy. And I've got a really clear vision on why that is. I make a really detailed vision board on doing that, and every single morning I look at that vision board because it's the backdrop on all my monitors, and it motivates me to be like, okay, I want to get there. Now my why is, I love the idea of sipping an espresso in an olive orchard while I'm coaching, right? I've got a why, and what I want to do and what it's going to feel like with my wife and my 2 dogs, but without the vision, the why is really not valuable to me. So I want you guys to imagine where you want to be, and that vision will drive you, but sometimes your why won't. Right? Everybody has their own. So if you guys come into this with, this is my goal next year, this is my why, this is my vision, and this is why, and I'm reading it every day, and I'm looking at it every day, and this is how I'm gonna get there. What happens is, instead of you working to become something, you become it today. So you guys have heard of manifestation, and I'm sure a lot of people here do that. Manifestation without work is useless. So you can't just sit here and manifest something and hope that it's going to be delivered to you. There's more of a wish than a manifestation. Look at it, and I'll give you guys this. I have clients that are very successful and that have struggled, fade, or have challenges. And this is gonna sound a little rough to you guys, okay? I'm faith-based, so you're gonna get a little rough. Where I'll have clients be like crying on a call, I can't believe God has done this to me and left me, abandoned me. And I'm like, God didn't abandon you. And they're like, what are you talking about? God sent me, you moron. I'm here to lead you. And they're like, oh, okay. It doesn't matter why I'm here. All that matters is for all of you guys, Mindset Reset is gonna be the very first thing. How many people here have been on my group calls in the recent past? I've done a lot of group calls on mindset. I did a really great group call last week on business planning, a little bit of what we're gonna cover today. So those of you that were on the last 2 calls, you're gonna see a little bit of repeat of that, but it's really good. I've seen Tony do it to me 50 times or something, and every time I do it, I learn something new or something goes. Then we're gonna talk about a little bit what your identity and your vision is. I'm gonna teach you a model called GPS. By the way, I pulled that GPS model from my business plan in 1992. So I've been doing this a long time, and that's exactly how I built massive organizations. And we're gonna talk a little bit about visualization. Accountability. If you're not, this is a beautiful part about accountability. Who here loves accountability? Raise your hand. Liars. You all lie. Right. We talk about this on coaching calls, so you guys don't get to hear it. If you are, there's a great quote that I love. If you're interested in something, you find an excuse, and if you're committed to something, you find a way. If you're committed to something, there's no amount of accountability that'll scare you. If accountability scares you, you need to go back to your vision and your why because you're not actually committed to it yet. I do 23 calls a day, just so you guys know. I start about an hour before, so I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm coaching by 5. I get a good workout in. I coach for 12 straight hours back to back. I set myself for success. I have super high energy. I don't make any decisions other than coaching decisions. There's all of these things. If you said to me, Coach, you owe me $100 for every call you don't make, I'd say, let's make it 10,000. There's no amount of accountability you could put on me that would scare me, would make me think I'm not gonna make a call today. I may put a caveat like the internet stays up, or my client shows up, or I don't fall down and bump my head or something, but as long as I'm breathing, I'm gonna be on my coaching calls. I want you guys to figure out what that one thing is by the end of today that you want to achieve next year, that you're willing to be held accountable at a very high level. So you need to be like, and by the way, the team may not like this, but if it's your personal health, I'm gonna be there to hold you accountable. So you need to be held accountable. I'm gonna teach you the math today. The math is really important. If you don't know what you need to do every single day, how are you gonna know how to get there? So I'm going to give you what the math is in a way that's so simple that everybody in this room is probably gonna be like, that can't be true. Because the numbers are so small for what you have to do to get where you need to get to, you'll immediately think it's not true. But what happens is I'll give you these daily numbers. Most people do it 1 or 2 days a week. They get distracted, or there's a flood, or there's a problem with this home inspection, or there's a problem, and then you don't do it the rest of the week. So to hit your numbers, you're gonna have to know what the numbers are. I'm gonna teach you some time management habits. I wrote a great book on this, and I'm rewriting the whole book right now because when I wrote it, there was no AI, and now I can make it way better, right? But because I'm 4 chapters into redoing it, there's a bunch of new science that I'll probably share with you guys today. And then really simple ways to implement. So my goal before I hand it off to Chris today is going to be to give you guys the tools, the energy, the ideas of, okay, when I make my plan for the first time in a long time, I know how to get there. That's what I want. I want all of you to get there, okay? Who here has a goal of, let's say, $500,000 next year? GCI. Anybody? Who here did 250 this year? Okay, so where'd you end up this year? 770. So if we make a goal for $1 million and you end up at 900, you gonna be okay? So he's gotta make a goal in his business plan that's accurate, that he's committed to doing every day. For some of you guys, if you ended up at $200,000 this year and you made a goal of 500 for next year, and you ended up at 400, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna be super excited because I doubled my income. If that's you, I'm gonna teach you how to make a goal that's a little bit higher than what you'll probably do, because when we reverse engineer your bigger goal, you're gonna be like, oh, that's easy, I can do that. And then you're gonna realize that when you do make some mistakes, you're still gonna double your income. So that's practical implementation. All right, new year, new mindset. So here's the thing. Who here thought when COVID hit, oh shit, I'm out of business? Okay, right? By the way, you guys, I had clients literally in their house by themselves in a mask on a Zoom call under their desk. Who here was in the business in 2020? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up if you had a good year in 2020. Okay, that's what happened to 70% of my clients. Guess what happened to the other 30%? They got a new coach because we weren't playing that game. Now, who here thought buyer-broker agreement was going to kill you last year? Raise your hand, honestly. Few of you, come on. Every client I had that embraced that and practiced for it had another pillar year. So the reason I tell you that is because you need to have a new mindset. Here's what I want from everybody in this room. Don't wish the market was better. Wish you were better. 30% of the market's going to go bye-bye according to NAR. Another 30%. The sales in 2026 will surpass 2019 for sure. Your market is fantastic and you just aren't seeing it. When I sold real estate, you guys, this is going to sound crazy to all of you. For 12 years of me selling real estate, there was never a single day where my average days on market was under 180 days. So I didn't know this bull that you guys know. That didn't even exist. So I didn't know that 100 days was possible or was even good. We just knew that we take listings, as long as I can have 25 listings at all time. Once I'm averaging 6 months at a time, I'm gonna have 10 to 15 closing a month. Some are gonna drop, some are gonna go, but that was it for me. I didn't know any different. You guys have to let go of the past and just focus on what we can take in the future, and that's why your business plan will be powerful. No excuses, only results, right? If you guys stay outside your comfort zone on, let's say you have more W's than L's. So you have 5 days a week that you're working, some of you are working 7 days a week, and if I can get you outside your comfort zone 3 days a week, we probably will double everybody's income or more. So being uncomfortable is how you win. All right, embrace growth. Failures are lessons, not losses. I follow a great guy, he's an ex-Navy SEAL. I'm gonna pull up his video and show it to you guys, but he does a video called Bad. And then he changes it to it's good. So somebody calls him and says, I lost this, good. More chances to learn. So I broke my leg, good. You can heal and come back stronger. Good, and it just keeps going through that in the whole video, and it's like, you're just like, at the end, you're like, good. Every time something crazy happens to me, I'm like, good. What did I learn? Was it a blessing or was it a lesson? That's the key for you guys. If you look at every challenge that you have as a challenge or as a nightmare, then the nightmares will follow you. But if you look at every challenge and you say, what did I learn from that? How can I get better from that? What good can come from that? Then you're taking it to a new level, right? So skills improve with consistent effort. All right, raise your hand if you do script practice and role play every day. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys, when we had 3,000 employees, for those of you that, some of you guys might know this guy, Bill Pipes was one of the #1 coaches at Mike Ferry. He was the #2 coach at Tom Ferry for many years, runs his own coaching company now. He's one of my close friends and I'm the godfather to his kids. But with Bill, we learned early on, because he's probably the #1 skills guy in the world. When I hired Bill and Bill worked for me, when we were making 8 figures, when we had 2 planes, boats, and places all over the world, I was in the pit with my team doing script practice and role play every single day. And if I wasn't there, Bill was there. Why would I, somebody who is at that level, be in the pit doing script practice and role play with my team every day? And I'm still doing training every day. I'm still writing every day, I'm still learning every day, I'm still doing it. If you take that into your business, this is what happens. When your skills are really good, your mindset becomes really good. So all of a sudden, you're like, that was amazing. I want to do that on every deal. You meet a buyer, it's perfect. You meet a seller, it's perfect. Everything starts going perfect. You have a challenge, and you're like, no big deal, because my skills are good, and I know my numbers, and I know for every 3 people I meet, 2 people are going to close. Once you have that data here and on paper, or on your computer in today's day and age, it's very difficult for a challenge to bring you down. Challenges equal opportunities in disguise, obviously. Kill the excuses, we've already talked about that. Results matter more than reasons. You can have excuses, you can have results, but you can't have both. That to me is one of my favorite quotes. There was a little cartoon where this gal on the cartoon was always like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And that's the deal for you guys. If you want to hit your goals, it's completely up to you. Okay, this is our favorite. Who's ever heard the expression, you want to surround yourself with 5 people that bring you up? Brian Tracy coined that. He's a great coach and mentor of mine for many years. Jim Rohn actually started it. All of those guys, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, they all work for Jim Rohn. He was the originator of this type of stuff. I would tell you guys, it's more than that. I want to surround myself with the 5 people that I know that have the best relationships. I want to surround myself with the 5 people I know that are the tightest friends and are loyal and great friends. And I want to surround myself with 5 super successful people. So I'm going to try to put myself in rooms with people that bring me up constantly. I love it if there's 1 or 2 people that are below me so I can help bring them up too, because that makes me feel good. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you're in a room with somebody who is bringing you down, then you deserve to lose next year. You need to get out of the room, right? Unless the only desire there is for you to bring them back up. Then it's okay. Feed your mind good stuff, books, podcasts, gossip, drama. You guys, if you're not reading, if you're not learning, who here has read Phil Jones' Exactly What to Say in Real Estate? Raise your hand. Oh my God. Okay, so write this down, please. Phil Jones, Exactly What to Say in Real Estate. How about this? If you read that book, I guarantee you close at least 1, if not 5 to 10 more deals next year. From that one book, if you read and learn that book, okay? There's another great book called The Full Fee Agent. I would read that book for sure. The Full Fee Agent. And that book is written by Chris Voss and Steve Scholl, who's a great coach. Another one of those coaches that never really sold real estate. Apparently he's still really good. And then the last one is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It is, because Chris Voss is a co-author on Full Fee. I'll give you one more, Ninja Selling. If you haven't read Ninja Selling, look at, if you guys take it upon yourselves to read those 4 books, the chances of you reaching your business plan and achieving your goal go up exponentially. So it's up to you whether you're going to do it. I think the movie was called Inside Out. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Motivation versus discipline. Motivation is fickle, discipline wins every time. You guys, let's talk about this. You've heard the expression, everybody here's heard the expression, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Tim Grover, another great author, says it this way: I tell you where to look, it's up to you whether you see it. So what you guys need to understand is that I can't motivate anybody. You have to motivate yourself. I can help you with discipline if you allow me to. The team can help you with discipline if you allow them to. For those of you that aren't on the group calls, I'm going to give you guys a little insight. 2 years ago, we had a little interaction at a Tom Ferry Summit in Dallas, where I may have or may not have knocked somebody out that deserved it. On that day, I decided, okay, I need to fix some things, like I'm not going to drink, and I'm going to lose some weight, and I'm going to, among other things, right? So what happened for me was like, hey, I want to get healthy. I want to do these things. And I love drinking wine. You guys just so you know, I'll drink maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine a week. So for 2 years, I had set a goal of I need to reach a certain goal physically to start drinking again. And for 18 months, I dieted and I worked out and I did these things, but my motivation was there, but my discipline was not. So for 18 months, I didn't drink. Just so you guys know, I'm stupid this way. I ordered wine every day. I'm ordering these beautiful bottles of wine where I'm spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're coming to my house and I'm like, I can't wait to drink this. And then the next day I eat like shit. Right? So I had no discipline, and the wine is a reward for me. 6 months ago, I said enough's enough, and between then and now I've lost 60-something pounds. So what happened is I put discipline into it, right? So what I would tell you guys as we work through this is you have to get to that point where I want to make this happen next year. So when you guys finish your business plan, I am committed to this. And then I'm gonna ask you guys as we talk about your business plan, what has to change for you to hit this, for you to do this? And you're gonna have to be like brutally honest with yourselves. Because if you just write your business plan like you did last year and nothing changes, that's the definition of insanity. You're gonna be in this same loop of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that doesn't help anybody. And in the end, it doesn't make you feel good. So once you guys decide, okay, this has to change. And by the way, everybody here probably has no idea what I would think what needs to change. Believe it or not, the most important thing was my evening routine. And then it was my morning routine. How do I set myself up for energy all day? And then it was like, okay, I've got to research what's the best way for me to fast and diet. And then I have to research, okay, what are the best peptides that'll help me get there? What had to change in me was not what most people think. And what has to change in you might be the same thing. It might be, I suck at time management and I block it and then I allow distractions. So then we have to talk about how I teach you to be an expert at time management and how we get rid of distractions. And then all of a sudden you hit your goal. So what needs to change for most of you is you need to get your butts on the phone, right? But for a lot of you, we need to make sure that we put you on the phone at a time where you're not getting distracted. So there's leverage and there's ways and there's systems and there's mentality. There's all of these things that will fit that. And if we build these routines that don't rely on your mood, then you'll succeed. I kept score at the bowling alley from the age of 10 to 15, and then I left home at 15. So at a 10-year-old, keeping score at a bowling alley from 6 o'clock till midnight every night and then walking home with a single mother working 3 jobs, right? Like, I just learned work ethic. So I don't have to worry about some of this stuff. The mood does not matter. If you allow your mood to dictate what you do, then once again, that's one more notch that's gonna keep you down. So show up even when you don't want to, especially then. My father was an abusive alcoholic, just so you guys know. Put my head through walls and stuff like that. And I went to Al-Anon, which is like AA for family members and children of alcoholics. And my first day at Al-Anon, I remember them saying, when an alcoholic has a bad day, they go and drink. And I'm 12 years old, 13 years old, and I'm thinking, I'm never gonna go drink when I've had a bad day. That's just the simple thing. And then my little brain was like, as a matter of fact, every time I have a bad day, I'm gonna double down the next day. So that one meeting put me in a situation where every time I have a bad day, not only do I go to work, but I'm like, okay, now I have to double down tomorrow because I had a bad day today. What do you guys think happens to me when I'm having a bad day now? I'm like, it's not that bad because I don't have to double down tomorrow. Nowadays, we have a mountain right behind where we live, both in Cabo and Park City, and I have a deal with myself. If I have a bad day, I have to climb the mountain before the sun rises and watch the sunrise from the top of the mountain. Now, I love the hike. It's a beautiful hike, but it sucks in the dark. And it really sucks right now because it's 30 degrees in my house. So now when I'm having a bad day, I'm like, it's not that bad. It's actually a pretty good day. This is what I learned. But what happens is next morning, I'm like, okay, because if I go to bed thinking, what a terrible day, it was horrible, and I wake up with, oh my God, I'm horrible and it's a terrible day. But if I go to bed thinking, I'm gonna be amazing tomorrow, I wake up amazing. Maybe not as amazing as normal, but you have to show up even when you don't want to. And the minute you start doing that manifestation, that mindset will put you in a position to achieve your business plan and your goals.